Good morning to everyone. As we know that in the previous video we had already completed chapter number 4, practical geometry. So today we are going to start chapter number 5, data handling of class 8th. Okay, so this one is chapter 5 and name of the chapter is of course data handling. Clear, student? Then as we know that we are having this lesson as data handling. So, do you remember chapter number 15, Introduction to Graph? This chapter, data handling, is related to that chapter only. Some of the graph like bar graph, double bar graph, histogram, pie chart, isn't it? Do you remember that? All those things comes under this data handling. Clear? So, some of the definitions that you have to already written from the chapter number 15, isn't it? In the previous video I had already given chapter number 15, that is introduction to graph. There I had explained I think 4 or 5 definitions of graph, isn't it? So those definition you have to just recall it. Okay, go through those definitions because that definition will helpful for you to solve this chapter. Clear? So here some of the definitions which I would like to tell you are first definition that is data. These are the simple word, no need of writing in your copy. This you people had already studied in the previous classes many times. Okay, so what do you mean by data? Data means the information collected in all such cases is called data. Data, it means some of the informations which we are getting through the graph or some pictograph like pictures, or some data that means like suppose you are having the height of your class, strength of your class, number of boys and girls in your class, like that some kind of numbers or information which we are getting from the particular things are known as datas. Clear? That particular datas are going to be drawn in the form of a bar graph, histogram, pie chart or pie graph, okay, double bar graph, etc. Now second thing which will be introduced by me, that is pictograph. Pictograph you people very well know that a pictorial representations of data is known as pictograph, isn't it? What is the second one is pictograph. Pictograph you people are studying from very smaller classes and it is very well known then, and it is might be your favorite topic, that is pictograph. What is a pictograph? Pictograph is a pictorial representations of the datas, isn't it? Then in your book only, page number 17 of NCERT book, isn't it? The second one is given definition as a bar graph. What is bar graph is? Bar graph a display of information using bars of information with their height being proportional to the respective value is known as bar graph. This already we had studied, isn't it? We are just recalling those things. So dear students, we are just recalling the chapter number 15 definitions of bar graph, isn't it? So everybody know what do you mean by bar graph, isn't it? So a bar graph which we are display of information using bars of uniform width, their height being proportional to the respective values is known as a bar graph. Clear everyone? Next one which we are going to study is about double bar graph. Double bar graph is also same as a bar graph, but we are having the we are using the data of the two things, isn't it? So a bar graph showing two sets of data simultaneously is useful for the comparisons of the data. Why the double bar graph is used? A double bar graph is used because when the two data are given or two data are given in the questions, it is very simple to draw that with the help of double bar graph, and also it is useful for comparing the data. Okay, then next what we are going to see in the page number 71 of NCERT book, that is raw data. Usually data variables available to us in an unorganized form called raw data. What do you mean by raw data? Suppose here we are having in this question number 2, we are having the number of alphabets WWGG, GB, WWM, GG, MM, like this the data we are having, isn't it? So this data which we are having and in an unorganized form. Okay, unorganized form, that means it is not in a sequence. That data is called a raw data. Then after in the question, in the solution, in the question we are having the raw data which is unorganized, not arranged. But while solving the questions we are arranging those data either by the help of a tally mark or by ascending or descending order, isn't it? So while ascending and descending order, when we arrange it, it is called data. But before that, which is unorganized or unarranged, is known as raw data. Clear everyone? Frequency, everybody know what do you mean by frequency is? Frequency, that means whatever the thing in the tally mark, first column we are going to write the serial, then tally mark we are using, and counting those bundle of tally mark and writing at the side of that is said to be as a frequency. Isn't it? Frequency, everybody know what is frequency is. Main words of the frequency is, frequency gives the number of times that a particular entry occurs. In NCERT book page number 72, that definition is being given. What is given? Frequency gives the number of times that a particular entry occurs. That means number of times. Suppose here in the question number 2 alphabets is given, how many times W occurs, how many times G occurs, B occurs, M occurs, like that we are going to make a tally mark, and that tally mark while counting we will going to write in the other column, isn't it? So particular data entry, how many times it occurs, is said to be as a frequency. Clear everyone? While doing the question it will be more clear to you people. Okay, you very well know that highest occurrence, lowest occurrence. While doing the questions of range we had already completed this, isn't it? So that are the difference between the highest and the lowest or class, isn't it, is known as class interval, that I will tell you while teaching the question. So here student, we are going to start our chapter number 5. No need of writing these definitions in your copy because you people had already written these definitions in the chapter number 15, introductions to graph. Okay, so here we are going to start the chapter number 5.1, introduction to graph, that is chapter number 15, which is already completed in the previous video. Please go through it. So here we are going to start the chapter 5, data handling, and some of the topics which I had just now I had explained you. Okay, so here is the exercise 5.1, first question. So what does the first question says here? For which of these would you use a histogram or to show the data? The question is, for which of this would you use a histogram to show the data? Question, the number of letters for different area in a postman bag. Second, the height of the competitors in an athletic meet. C, the numbers casted produced by 5 companies. D, the numbers of passengers boarding train from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at a station. Give reason for each. Have you understood what the question says here? Here student, what the question says, that we are going to use histogram for this to show the data. That means this 4 conditions is given in your question, isn't it? All those 4 conditions can we use a graph or a histogram graph to show the data. Okay, suppose a postman is there, postman is going in the different area to distribute the letters, isn't it? Can that data be drawn by the histogram? It is asking. If it can be drawn, give the reason. Or if it cannot be drawn, that the areas where the postman distributed the letters, that areas we can draw that data in the form of histogram. Why or why not, that reason we have to give. Clear? Then B part. Second, the height of the competitors in an athletic meet. Since athletic meet is there, athletic game is there, so many participants are participating in that, isn't it? If many participants are going to participate in that, everybody's height we are having, and that height is known as datas. Can that datas or the height of the competitors be drawn in the histogram? If it is yes, you have to give the reason. If it is no, again you have to give the reason for that. In the same way, 5 companies we are having, and the data of the 5 companies we are going to see. Can we draw the histogram for that? Histogram graph for the 5 companies, we have to answer either yes or no. If yes is there, then we have to give the reason, and along with, if it is no, then also we have to give the reason for the same. Then the second, the number of passengers boarding train from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on a station. Again we will get the graph data from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. that how many passenger is going in the train. That data we will get. Whether using that data can we draw a histogram? If yes, we have to give the reason. If no, then also we have to give the reason for that. So clear everyone? Have you understood the question? Now let's see what the answer it will be. So we know that histogram is a graphical representations of data if the data presented using class interval. This is the answer, definition of histogram. What do you mean by histogram? Histogram means, what is histogram? Is a graphical representations of data if the data are represented using class interval. So what do you mean by histogram? Histogram, we had already studied the definition of that. So histogram is a graphical representations of data that we are already having, isn't it? So it is a graphical representations of data. Using that data we can draw the histogram using the class interval. Class interval, suppose 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like that we are marking, isn't it? So that particular data are known as class intervals. Then here is the answer for that. Since the cases mentioned in option B and D, option B and D, that means here is option B and this one is option D. That means height of the competitor in athletic meets, and D is number of passengers. Okay, so can be divided into class interval. Histogram can be used to show that. Here the answer it is saying that for the case, that means B part and D part, we can easily draw the histogram using the class interval. Similarly, since the case mentioned in option A and C cannot be divided into class interval, hence histogram cannot be used to represent the data. So why it is so? Have you understood why it is so? So listen why it is so. In the case, here 2 cases being given, B and D. So here the answer it is says that in the case B and D, we can easily draw the histogram graph. Why we can draw the histogram graph? Because it can be, class interval can be easily divided in B and the D part. Okay, like 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., like that up to 7 p.m. we can divide the class interval. Similarly, for the height of the athletic persons or competitors, we can divide it like 5 to 6 feet, 6 to 7 feet, or 5.1 feet, 5.2 feet, 5.3 feet, like that we can divide. But for the case of postman, A part and C part, there are 5 companies, and inside the 5 companies number of persons are there, isn't it? Number of employees are there, number of products are there, so that data is too large. So for that we can't get a unique class interval. That's why we cannot draw a histogram for the A and the B part, A and the C part. And for the postman, I will give the reason that a postman is going to distribute the letters in different area, and in particular area might be 5-6 houses are near to each other, 7-8 houses are far than to each other. So unique class interval we are not getting in this, isn't it? That's why the histogram is that's why the histogram we cannot draw for the case A and C. So hope you people understood what I am saying to this. Okay. So to draw the histogram, a unique class interval is needed. Okay. So in case A and C unique class interval we are not getting, hence histogram is not possible for that. But in B and D part we are getting a unique class interval, hence we can draw the histogram for this. Clear everyone, student? Hope you people understood. Okay, so this is the answer for the question number 1. Now look the question number 2. What the question number 2 says: the shopper who came to a departmental store are marked as men for capital M and women for capital W, boy for capital B or girl for capital G. The following list gives the shoppers who came during the first hour in the morning. That means here the raw data is being given for the number of men, women, boy and girl who are coming to the departmental store. Okay, the data is being given by the shopkeepers. Now what is asked in the question: make a frequency distribution using distribution table using telemarks. Draw a bar graph to illustrate it. So first we have to draw the telemark using this data, isn't it? First we have to, what we have to do is, first we have to draw a telemark using the above raw data. Then after we have to draw it a bar graph. So dear student, here it is asked about a telemark as well as the bar graph. So two things we have to do in the question 2. First one we have to draw the telemark table. Okay. Then after drawing the telemark table we have to draw the bar graph. So this W indicates for the women, M indicates for men, okay, B indicates for boy and G indicates for girl, isn't it? So these are the indications. So by using the frequency that means frequency distribution table, we look the solution for question number 2. Okay, now look, we are going to make how many columns? 3 columns for telemark, or in place of frequency distribution table you can write it as a telemark table. Okay, in a telemark table we are going to write or draw a box. Okay, so for that here we are going to write the shoppers, that means who are coming to the store to get the materials, that are called the shoppers. And the person who is going to give the material to the owner of the shop is known as shopkeeper. Remember, shopper, that means an outsider coming to the shop to buy the material, that are called shopper. So first column is for the shopper, second column is for the telemark, and the third column is for the frequency. Clear everyone? How many columns we are going to draw? We are going to draw the first column for the shopper, okay, that men, women, boy and girls. Okay, then second column is for the telemark, and the third column is for the frequency. So 3 column we have to draw for the telemark. Okay, first we are going to write that women will come in the shop as a, isn't it, to buy the things. Then men will come, it is denoted by women's are denoted by W and men's are denoted by M. Then boys are denoted by B and girls are denoted by G. Like that we are going to draw the table, isn't it? Now let's see. So how many women's are there? So for that women's, this one is a 3 women's. Then again 2. How many? 3 plus 2, 5. Then here again 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Like this we will going to count. So how many total are there? Total 28 are there. How many women are there total? 28 women are there. So here this frequency is only known as number of shoppers. Remember, in place of number of shoppers we can also write the word frequency. Okay, so how many total women are there? 28 women are there. So for 28, how to draw the telemark? You know how to draw. One bundle is equals to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 15 plus 5, 20. Isn't it? Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25. And 3 more because it is 28. So this way we will going to draw here. Clear up to here? Then next for men. Men, how many we are having? For men, let's count. M denotes for men. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Isn't it? So how many men are there? 15 men are there. So how many telemark we are going to draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two bunch and 15 is there. So again 5. So this is the for telemark for men. In the same way, number of boys, how many are there? Let's count for the number of boys. How many? 1. Then again 2. 3, 4, 5. So how many boys are there? 5 boys are there, and for 5 boys telemark one bundle will be there, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth one will be slant. Okay. In the same way for girls we are going to count. G is the denote for the girls. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So how many girls are there? 12 girls are there. That means how many telemark? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 5, 10. Then again 2 more is left. That is 2 stick again we are going to put. So have you understood how to mark the telemark? Then after at the last what you have to do is you have to add the frequency. This number of shoppers is known as frequency. This frequency you have to add it. So while adding 28 plus 15 plus 5 plus 12, while adding all the numbers you will get as 60. And if you want to recheck this data whether 60 is coming or not, what you have to do? You have to count this data like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 up to here last you will count. You will get the data as 60. So that data should be matched with the total data. Then only your answer is correct. So understood everyone up to here how to draw that telemark using the distributions table. Okay. So this is the telemark you have to draw in your copy. Clear student? So in the question number 2 again it is asked to draw the bar graph. Isn't it? Here it is asked to draw the bar graph. So we are going to draw the bar graph for that. This is the solution for question number 2 itself. Okay, first part it is in question number 2. First part it is asked to draw the telemark, isn't it? And in the second part it is asked to draw the bar graph. So telemark we had already drawn. Let's see the bar graph. So for the bar graph student, what you have to do is you have to take a graph paper. Okay, take a graph paper and in that graph paper you have to draw this telemark. Clear everyone? So let's see. What you have to do? You have to draw a x-axis and y-axis. Clear? This one is the origin. Vertical you have to draw a y-axis and horizontal you have to draw the x-axis. Then you have to mark the interval as 0 to 5, 1 boxes. Okay. Then 5 to 10, 10 to 15, like that up to 30 you have to mark. Okay. What will be the scale student? What you will take the scale? Scale will be 1 unit is equals to 5 shoppers. Again I will write a unit for you. That is here you have to, in the graph you have to write 1 unit is equals to 5 shoppers. That means one of the unit is equals to 5 shoppers. Shopper means the number of person who are coming to the shop to get the materials from the shops, isn't it? So this you have to write in your copy. Then after, so number of person, women, men, boys, girls, you have to write in the x-axis, and number of shoppers, that means number of person, you have to write in the y-axis. So here is, you have to draw the bar graph. So this one is a bar graph for each and everything. Okay, so number of men, how we will get, what will be the frequency we are having for, what is the frequency we are having for women's, that is 28, isn't it? What is the frequency? Women's is equals to 28, men is equals to 15, might be 15, boys is equals to 5, and girls is equals to 12. Yes, here 15. Okay, using this data we have to draw. So how many women are there? 28. So here is 28 is marked. Okay, then how many men are there? 15. So 15 will be marked here. How many boys are there? 5. So 5 will be marked here. And how many girls are there? 12. So 12 will be between 5 and 10. So here is 12. So in this way you have to mark the graph. So clear everyone how to draw the graph? So this is the graph for question number 2, which you have to draw in a graph paper and stick in your max copy. So for today, thank you everyone. In the next video we are going to see question number 3, 4 and 5 from exercise 5.1, chapter number 5, data handling. So for today, thank you everyone.